The Second Sudanese Civil War, which lasted from 1983 to 2005, was a complex and bloody conflict that not only affected Sudan, but also had a significant impact on the entire African continent. The roots of this war lie in the historical, cultural, and religious differences within Sudan. The First Sudanese Civil War started in 1955 and ended in 1972 with the Addis Ababa Peace Agreement. Under this agreement, South Sudan was granted autonomy, but this peace did not last long. The people of South Sudan had always struggled for their rights, and their cultural, religious, and ethnic differences with the Arab Muslim rulers of North Sudan were deep. In 1983, the Sudanese government attempted to impose Islamic law Sharia throughout the country, which sparked strong opposition in South Sudan. For the people of South Sudan, Islamic law went against their religion and culture. Following this decision, war broke out in South Sudan, with the Sudan People's Liberation Army, SPLA, beginning an armed struggle against the government. This war not only became a fight for the rights of South Sudanese people, but also turned into a conflict between the cultural and religious factions of the country. During the war, South Sudan suffered devastating consequences. Millions of people were displaced, with many seeking refuge in other parts of Sudan or neighboring countries. Human rights violations became commonplace, and both sides committed numerous war crimes. Children were recruited into the war, and women and girls faced widespread sexual violence. The Northern Sudanese Army launched attacks on civilian areas in South Sudan, and South Sudan also retaliated with violent actions. On the international front, the Sudanese Civil War attracted significant global attention. Various world powers intervened either to support one side or to push for peace in the region. The United States and European countries voiced support for the rights of South Sudan, while China and other countries backed North Sudan, providing military and economic aid. The international community reacted strongly to reports of human rights violations and war crimes, calling for action against the Sudanese government. In 2005, a historic peace agreement known as the Comprehensive Peace Agreement was reached. Under this agreement, South Sudan was granted 6 years of autonomy, and a referendum was set for 2011 to determine the region's future. In the referendum, 98% of voters supported independence, leading to the creation of the Republic of South Sudan on July 9, 2011. However, despite the hope that peace would follow independence, South Sudan continued to face significant political and social challenges. After the independence of South Sudan, the country remained plagued by internal conflicts. In 2013, a new civil war broke out between President Salva Kiir and Vice President Riek Machar, resulting in thousands of deaths and further displacement. This war exacerbated the political crisis in South Sudan and made the region even more unstable. Despite its independence, South Sudan faces numerous challenges, including economic crises, political corruption, and internal warfare. Nevertheless, the country's independence marked a new beginning, setting an example for African nations in their quest for freedom. However, bringing peace to South Sudan has proven to be an ongoing challenge, and the world is watching to see whether South Sudan can overcome its internal issues and achieve lasting stability. The Second Sudanese Civil War changed the lives of the people of Sudan and South Sudan, and left a deep impact on international politics, relations, and human rights. The sacrifices made during this conflict and the efforts by the international community have taught valuable lessons about how internal conflicts can affect global peace.